Hello, it's Iino. In this issue, I will broadcast you logistics news in December 2023. As social conditions change, the shipping industry is also being greatly affected. What will happen to the shipping market after 2023? So, let's get started. Maersk diverts Red Sea Suez Canal route amid missile attack. Maersk is under missile attack and diverted around the Cape of Good Hope in South Africa. A container ship of the shipping giant, Maersk, operating in the Red Sea was the target of a missile attack by the Houthi faction, a pro-Iranian armed group in Yemen. In response, Maersk, Hapag-Lloyd, MSC, CMA-CGM, and all other shipping lines of the three major alliances have decided to suspend their Suez Canal operations and divert to the Cape of Good Hope. The detour to the Cape of Good Hope will extend ship arrivals by 10 days to 2 weeks longer than usual. The Suez Canal is still fresh in our minds, with the stranding of an evergreen container ship in 2021. At that time, the Suez Canal was temporarily shut down, forcing many vessels to choose the route via the Cape of Good Hope. At that time, operations resumed after a week or so, but this time, the problem is related to the Palestinian-Israeli situation, and some believe that a short-term recovery will be difficult. In addition, the Panama Canal, located between North and South America, is currently under temporary traffic restrictions due to severe water shortages. The two canals, both of which are important for maritime transportation, are experiencing operational restrictions at the same time, and there are concerns about the impact on international logistics. In response, some are reporting that cargoes from Asia to the west coast of North America will increase in the future. The west coast of North America is still being affected by the turmoil caused by labor management negotiations, and many shippers have shifted their cargoes to the east coast and Gulf Coast of North America, with no signs of recovery in cargo volumes on the west coast. However, due to the restricted operation of the Panama Canal, some cargo is beginning to be transported from the west coast to the east coast of North America via inland rail. It is also expected that the cancellation of the Suez Canal and Red Sea operations by the shipping lines will further increase the volume of shipments to the west coast of North America. Shipping via the Cape of Good Hope requires longer voyages and more fuel. In order to avoid this, it is believed that a land transportation method called land bridge will be used, in which the cargo is transported to the west coast of North America by container ship, then to the east coast of North America by rail, and then to Europe by sea from the east coast. We do not know how long the suspension of Suez Canal operations by shipping lines will last, but it will certainly have a significant impact on future supply chains. As was the case under the corona pandemic, ocean freight rates may skyrocket. The Chinese New Year is coming up in February, which is also a time of increased cargo. All eyes will be on the Suez Canal and Panama Canal to see if demand increases and space becomes scarce, and what the future restrictions on two canal will be. Maersk invests $500 million in Southeast Asia. Maersk, struggling with its integrator strategy, announced a $500 million investment in the Southeast Asian market. Maersk has been pursuing an integrator strategy in recent years, but the company is seen as struggling, having announced 10,000 layoffs in November. Against this backdrop, the company has announced plans to invest more than $500 million over the next 3 years, through 2026, to expand its supply chain infrastructure in Southeast Asia. They have positioned Southeast Asia as an important center for future global production and consumption powerhouse. With this investment, Maersk plans to add approximately 5.2 million feet of warehouse and distribution space in Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, and the Philippines by 2026. The company also plans to invest in warehouses at ports in Malaysia and airports in Singapore. Furthermore, they are active in environmental initiatives and plans to operate biodiesel fuel and adopt EV trucks. Also, Maersk is expanding logistics in various regions, including the launch of a warehouse for Nissan in Wuhan, China, and the development of a warehouse totaling 1.4 million square feet in Australia. Despite the challenging conditions, the company has indicated that it intends to continue with its integrator strategy. It will be interesting to see how Maersk, a major shipping company, continues to invest aggressively. MCS, Versatile M&A Strategy. MSC, the world's largest shipping company by tonnage, actively pursues mergers and acquisitions. Unlike Maersk and CMA-CGM, which have a door-to-door strategy, MSC is taking a different approach to fleet expansion. This time, through its subsidiary, the company has announced its intention to acquire the French forwarder, Clasquin. Claskin, with an annual shipping volume of 200,000 TEU and handling over 50,000 tons of air cargo. They are expected to increase its cargo handling capabilities through this acquisition. They are also eager to make acquisitions outside of forwarders. To establish its position in Northern Europe, the company has announced the acquisition of a stake in a Hamburg terminal operator and a 50% stake in an Italian national railway operator. In addition to this, the company has invested in the operations of the French Ballor Group's Ballor Africa and is making major inroads into the African continent's port network. Furthermore, MSC entered the air cargo market in September 2022 when its air cargo division purchased a long-haul Boeing freighter. In August of this year, it acquired a majority stake in Milan-based Alice Cargo Airlines. In this way, the company is pursuing a series of business acquisitions. MCS is developing acquisitions into ports, cargo planes, and railroads, indicating that it is focusing on infrastructure rather than only maritime. As an integrator, Maersk and CMA CGM are working on a door-to-door strategy, while MSC is taking a strategy to control infrastructure. We will continue to update our readers on how the strategic decisions of each leader in the maritime industry will impact the sector in the future. North American retailers revise import forecasts upward for following year. U.S. retailers have revised their import forecasts upward in anticipation of a record year-end sales season. Although U.S. retailers were suffering from overstocking due to the corona pandemic, this November's Black Friday sales ended strong, with a 7.5% increase over the previous year. According to the Vice President of the North American retail industry, the increase in imports in September and October of this year was due to declining inventories. He believes that the increase in imports was due to strong inventory declines. North America is currently in the year-end sales season, and the Chinese New Year is coming up next February. Freight volumes usually increase before the Chinese New Year, and the volume before next year's Chinese New Year is expected to increase by 14.5% from February 2023. North American retailers, suffering from excess inventories due to the corona pandemic disruption, have been quite cautious about their inventories. In this context, the 14.5% increase forecast is a fairly high-level import forecast. Currently, the Panama Canal between North and South America is under operational restrictions, and the Suez Canal in Egypt is being bypassed by the Cape of Good Hope as shipping lines suspend operations due to social conditions. With the expected increase in cargo volume before the Chinese New Year, there are also concerns about space shortages. We need to keep a close watch on the impact of the ever-changing situation on the market situation. How is this issue of logistics news? Although cargo volumes in North America are expected to recover, how will the social situation affect the shipping industry? Also, there is increasing attention on the strategies adopted by each shipping company. That's all for this issue. Thank you very much.
In this channel, I explain about international logistics knowledge for your better understanding. I hope this video will be a good support for your logistics job. If you have any shipment from Thailand or to Thailand, please feel free to contact me Iino-san anytime. Also, I'm very motivated to keep updating these videos. If you subscribe, press good or comment anything. Well, thank you. See you next time.